Maybe we can kick it. I give you.
The number you have dialed has been changed.
Hi YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. So basically, if you follow me or if you know me, then you know that box braids are usually my go-to style. I honestly haven't done them literally all winter for whatever reason. Like, I just didn't do a protective style this winter. I just been wearing wash and goes. But I'm about to go to California in the next 2 days, so I just want to like have low maintenance hair. So I decided to do box braids, and I'm gonna film the process for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys really quickly all the products that I use when I do box braids. So I went to the beauty supply store today and I just picked up everything that I needed. A lot of this stuff I've never used before. For instance, I've never used this brand of hair before. This is the Expressions pre-stretched 24-inch hair. It comes with like 3 bundles in it. I got this free tress deep twist for the ends. If you've been following me, you know I feel like the mousse is the most essential part of the box braid process. I got me some hair sheen. I use this for moisture. It is the Elasta QP olive oil and mango butter moisturizer. I use that like on my hair strands when I'm doing box braids. And I use the Shine and Jam Magic Fingers for braiders for the roots. And this be having my hair laid. And of course, this one to me is the best one just because it's like sharper than the rest. It's like really sharp. Like you can get a perfect part with this one. Perfect. So let's get into the video finally. All right, lovely people. So I decided to do a voiceover just because, you know, I was trying to get busy. Basically, this part is me demonstrating to you guys how I do my parting by myself. Because a lot of people always ask me, how do you get your parts so straight by yourself? So it's kind of a challenge, but this is basically what I do. I just point the smaller mirror into my mirror and then just kind of go back and forth until I get a decent part. This is the pre-stretched braiding hair, and basically right now I'm just going to separate it into very small parts. You might want to do the parts a little bit bigger, like subconsciously, but just be mindful that we do want these braids to be flat. So get very, very, very small sections. I use the mango moisturizer on my hair strands, but you can use any moisturizer that you desire. As long as you're keeping your hair moisturized underneath the braids, then you're good to go. This is me just sectioning my hair into fine parts. Okay, so after I section my hair into my desired part, then I grab some of the braiding gel and I basically just coat the roots with that so that I could get me a nice little, you know, a nice little sleek look. And then I just start my braid. So obviously I haven't showed you guys yet how to actually do the braid. I just wanted you guys to get a good view of all the steps of doing a braid. So the parting, the moisturizing, the gel, and then the braid. One thing I want to make very clear about doing these knotless goddess braids is that it takes a really long time. I will not lie to you guys. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. It took me a long freaking time, okay? So just make sure that you have like a good day to do this whole hairstyle. And just breathe in, stretch, listen to music, you know, get yourself in a zone. So now I'm going to take the time out to show you guys how to do the different methods. All right. So now I have completed my hair and I left out 3 braids so that I can demonstrate to you guys the 3 different methods that I'll be doing. First off, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that I'm not a hairstylist. Secondly, I am not good at explaining how to do this stuff because for me, I'm just a visual learner. So for anyone who is a visual learner, then just, keep your eye on what I'm doing. For everyone else, I'm going to try my best to explain this, but it's kind of difficult. So basically, I section my hair into 3 parts, and then I just proceed to do a braid, a normal braid, right? Until I reach like this far. Okay, when I reach to this part now, I'm going to grab a section of hair, a very small section. I'm going to connect that hair to the middle section of the 3 strands. As you can see, I took that braiding hair and I connected it with that middle strand of the 3 strands. Then I proceed with my braid just one time over, and then I pull that braiding hair back down into place and finish my braid. I really hope that makes sense. I'm going to do it again so you guys can see. Take the braiding hair, connect the bottom end of it with the middle strand of the 3 strands in the braid. Put the top part of the braiding hair on top of your head just to keep it out the way. You see, it's in the middle. Start with your braid just one time over and then pull the braiding hair back down into place and finish your braid. That's how you feed the hair in. This method is really good if you want like an extremely flat look, only because you did not add braiding hair at the root. So it'll just be very flat. This is me showing you guys one more time from a different angle. You take the braiding hair, connect it with the middle strand of the 3 strands, leave one part of the braiding hair out of your way, proceed with your braid, and then pull the braiding hair back down and finish the braid. I really hope that makes sense. So now we're going to get into the second method on this second braid. So basically, this one starts off the same way with you braiding your own natural hair at the root. Don't add any braiding hair at the root. Just braid your own natural hair to the same point as the last one. And I want to point out that this method right here is very much beginner friendly. However, this method, if you don't grip the braids tight enough, it can be very loose and it can look very sloppy. So if you are going to do this easier method, just make sure that you're doing it tightly. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the braiding hair, and you're going to connect it in a loop to 2 out of the 3 strands. And then you're going to just continue your braid as is. This first visual, you can't really see it. It's difficult to see, but just keep watching and it will make more sense. So you take a strand of the braiding hair, you take that loop, and you literally just mimic your own hair. So that little curve, you're going to connect it to the curve in your own hair. And then you're just going to continue to braid. But like I said, just make sure you grip that one extremely tight so that it connects in place and you don't leave like any gaps in between your braid. But this method is the easiest one to do. And then you just finish your braid as is. This method is really good if you are new to doing box braids. It's like a really efficient way to just get it done and practice. This is how I used to do it when I first started doing box braids. So yeah, you take that little loop, connect it to 2 strands of the 3 strands of your own braid, as you can see. And then you just proceed with your braid and just make sure you hold it in place very tightly. And then finish your braid as is. Okay, so now for the last method. So you start at the root with 3 sections. You take a strand of the braiding hair and you connect the bottom part of that braiding hair to your middle strand. Leave out the top part to get it out the way. You're basically going to do a similar technique to that first method that I showed you, but you're going to start at the root instead of starting like halfway. You start overlapping with 1 braid, and then you pull back down the braiding hair and finish your braid. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to do it another time. So you take a strand of the braiding hair and you connect it with the middle strand of your 3 strands. You keep a piece of the hair out the way because you're going to connect that one after. You start with your braid just 1 time over, and then you pull the rest of that braiding hair back into your braid and you finish your braid. As you can see. Pretty much this is the method that I use now. Like I said, it's the tightest, it's the most secure, and once you get into the groove of it, it's very easy. I promise you. There is actually a 4th method that I do, which is honestly what I really do, but I just don't want to confuse you guys right now, so I'm going to make a separate video with jumbo knotless box braids so that you have a better sense of what's going on, because with the jumbo ones you can see it better. Basically what I did when I was braiding the box braids was that I braided them only to like up here, as you can see, just so that I can like do the ends later and I don't braid it all the way to the bottom and waste my time. I realized while adding the free tress hair that I made a mistake. I played myself. Basically, because of the fact that you're gonna add the hair in, when you are braiding the box braids, you do not need to braid it so far. Like, granted, I braided it to like right here, but I could have braided it to like right here. Because basically, while I've been putting in the free tress hair, all I've been doing is cutting this. So it was like I literally wasted my time doing these box braids so long.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So to save you time, I'm gonna just let you know, like, braid your box braid to like right here and then add the hair in. And I like to keep it a buck with y'all because I don't want y'all to think that every time I do my hair it's perfect and like it don't be. All right, so I'm just gonna braid the free tress hair into my hair as before. Alright, so I'm gonna pretty much stop here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a very small strand of the free tress hair. And I'm just gonna make a knot. Well, multiple knots.
Maybe we can kick it. I give you my digits. Maybe we can fall in love. Bad for business. Doorbell ringing, I should let him in.
I made 4 knots here. As you can see. And then this right here is the braiding hair. You see this little straight part? I'm just gonna snip it as close to the knot as possible. And then it looks like this. So I guess you could leave it like that. because at the end of the day, there's so many braids, and when they're all together, you're not gonna be able to see like where it stops. Especially if you do the braids, especially if you add the curly hair at different lengths, they're all gonna cover each other. So you're definitely not gonna see where that knot is. So because of that, I'm gonna just burn the knot. Let's be clear, I'm normally not into burning box braids. Like, I feel like that's just like, it just has a look that I don't like. But just to secure this, because I don't want nothing unraveling, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna burn it. Burn it and squeeze it. Roll it like a shoelace. And then it's secure. And I'm gonna do that with all of them. And I'm gonna like start some up here and do some longer so that they can kind of just all be at different lengths. And then I'm gonna trim the ends all at the same length. Okay, so basically at this point, this is all of the final touches. This is all my favorite parts. Like, I don't know what it is about all this. Maybe just knowing that I'm finally done, but these are my favorite steps. Normally when I do regular box braids, I'll trim like all along the hair strands, like the little straggly ends. But for this one, I just trimmed the free tress hair. Then I'm gonna dip the hair in some boiling hot water. Normally I have a special pitcher for when I dip like the regular box braids, and I'll dip all of the hair in the pitcher. But because I don't want to get the free tress hair wet, I just use a regular cup, and then I dip just like the braiding hair inside. So you basically just finish hot water in your entire head, and then you just pat dry the hot water with your towel, kind of just like smooth it down. And then after you're finished with that, then you're gonna mousse. This is actually my really favorite part. I don't know if it's because I'm very childish and I just like the foam, but I really just be ODing. Like, I foam the top, I foam the middle, I foam the bottom. I just be foaming away. The combination of the foam and the hot water just loosens up the hair, and it goes from like stiff to like bouncy and beautiful. And then after I do that, I blow dry a little bit. This part is optional. I never used to do this, but I just recently started blow drying just to kind of seal the foam in, and then obviously to speed up the drying process.
Maybe we can kick it. I give you my digits. Maybe we can fall in love. Bad for business.
And then after that, I add some vitamin E oil or whatever oil of your choice. That's up to you. And then I do my edges, and then I'm good to go. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to watch this video. I really hope that you learned something. If you were able to learn something from this video and you did your own Knotless Goddess box braids from this video, then send me pics. I would really love to see them. Thank you guys so much once again. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.